More than a year away from football, Le'Veon Bell has agreed on a 4-year, $52 million contract with the New York Jets. For more on this deal, we're going to go double coverage. We want to welcome in two of the hardest working men in TV this week. Our very own NFL Network insider Ian Rapoport, Tom Pelissero will be joining us here momentarily. Ian, free agency doesn't officially open until tomorrow, but this deal kind of came down to the last hour, so to speak. What was the final point of contention? And why did Lev B ultimately choose the Jets over, say, the Ravens?
It sounded like Le'Veon Bell was waiting for us to listen to his mixtape, which dropped at about midnight, until he finally announced. And if you think I'm joking, you would be wrong. He dropped this news right after basically his mixtape came on Twitter and Spotify and all sorts of other social media sites. And look, this is something that I think we all knew was happening. The Jets were clear in a way the front runner here. From my understanding is they made an offer they felt very confident in, and basically never moved off that. Even at the last minute, Bell tried to get other teams like the Oakland Raiders involved. They did not get involved to the level that the Jets did, so he simply took the offer that was made to him by the New York Jets and signed with the team that we all thought he would sign with. And if you think about what the Jets did today and over the last couple of days, they've added a lot of star power. Obviously, Le'Veon Bell, C.J. Mosley, Jamison Crowder. They tried to sign Anthony Barr. Obviously, that didn't work out like they wanted. But this was a big day for the New York Jets, and obviously for Le'Veon Bell. He at least gets the multi-year contract that he has sought for several years.
Yeah, he gets the multi-year deal, but he walked away from $14.5 million franchise tag and set out the entire year to get the bag. He gets the bag, not not the one he expected. And he won't recoup the money that he lost last year with this deal. Am I correct?
Well, there's a couple different ways to look at it. No, I mean, he left $14.5 million on the table. He's not getting that back. His deal is what it is. It's basically $13 million a year. There's incentives that can push it to about $15 million per year. Got to look at the fine print to see what that actually is. But you're right. The money that he left on the table last year is never coming back. But from what I was always told, as far as why he sat out last year, this was about protecting himself, limiting the wear and tear, and basically making sure that he didn't suffer a major injury before he hit free agency. So yes, he lost the $14 million, but he also limited the carries and stayed relatively healthy while also doing a lot of jet skiing. So if you look at the year off that Bell had, he would probably say it's worth it. Obviously, this is going to be the subject of great debate.
All right, let's continue the debate, or the discussion at least, and welcome in Tom Pelissero, who's all over this as well. Tom, he's been away from the game for a year now. There's going to be natural questions about the rust. Were there any other concerns about paying Lev B the type of money that he wants, coming off a year away from football?
Well, Cal, let's start by talking about Le'Veon Bell and what that year away has done for him. Of course, you're going to have questions about what type of shape he's going to be in, exactly what his training regimen was in during that time away. I spoke a couple of weeks ago to his longtime trainer, Pete Bomarito, who told me that any talk about his weight gain or anything else during the offseason was not really any type of reality here. Really, he's been following the same type of regimen that he would in the past. And what the Bell people have said is that they believe having that year off allows Le'Veon Bell's body to recover better than most running backs ever could when they play a full season, because normally your season ends in late December, January. By April and May, you're right back into the offseason program. This is a guy who has not been hit in 14 and a half months. It's a far stretch to say, okay, this is going to add a year onto his career, but they do think he is going to come back quicker, fresher. His body is going to feel better than it did before. With regard to any trepidation that the Jets or another team might have had about paying Le'Veon Bell, if you look at the numbers right now, and Ian reported it, $52.5 million over 4 years, that would come in as the second highest average per year under Todd Gurley. We do not know the entire structure of the guarantees or the incentives on that contract, but this is not, in other words, far outshooting other contracts within the market. The key with Le'Veon Bell was always going to be be the guaranteed money he was able to get. The Steelers' standard contract structure is to give a large signing bonus, a large amount of money in year one, not have any future guarantees, although year two is practically guaranteed on those deals. That's what he wanted to get when he hit the free agent market. He did have several teams that were interested in him. Ultimately, it is the New York Jets who sealed the deal here.
Obviously, he should help Sam Darnold's career. He's going to be leaned upon heavily in New York. Do you think he's going to reach that 400-touch barrier? Last time we saw him on the field, he had a career-high 321 carries, 85 receptions. How will he be used?
It's a fantastic question, Kyle, and it's one that we probably are not going to know the answer to until we listen to Adam Gase, how he addresses things, and until we see exactly how things play out. Now, certainly, if you look around the league, there is nobody in the touch category that Le'Veon Bell has been in. Nobody is having that many, not just in the running game, but the passing game. So you would certainly expect that they're going to find ways to keep that a little bit lower, try to preserve a guy they're investing a lot of money in. You mentioned Sam Darnold. That has been what everything has been about through the Jets offseason. Yes, they invested a lot of money in C.J. Mosley, tried to invest a lot in Anthony Barr, but also bringing in Jamison Crowder, a slot receiver, paid him $9.5 million a year. Now Le'Veon Bell. Whatever you can do to take the pressure off the shoulders of your young quarterback, the Jets are trying to do that.